Hi, welcome back to the shed for episode 6 of the Firechick tenor ukulele build, and in this episode we're going to be fitting the bridge and sorting out that pickup. So last time we left this with the realisation that the pickup I'd bought was too big. There is just no configuration with which this will work, so we can't use it. I had a lot of really useful suggestions of things that I could use. A few people recommended blade pickups because the pole spacing doesn't really matter because there's only really one pole on the blade. The problem is they would still be too wide for this section of the body, so they won't work. I had a few recommendations for half of a P-bass pickup, and that actually would work. That would fit quite nicely in there. However, I think I've possibly got another solution. I've bought another pickup and I don't particularly like it because it's got this fake rosewood effect going on, but I'm sure we can paint that or something and make it nice. Now as it stands with this pickup ring on, it's too big, but we can take that off, and I'm pretty sure that once we take the ring off, it will still be too big. But I'm not going to use the ring anyway. I'm going to directly mount this. So I think there's a slim chance we might be able to get away with this. So we can dump that. See, the pickup itself will fit in quite nicely. There is a little bit of excess room there, but the little tabs that it attaches with won't. They need to come down a little bit. But what I'm hoping is there is a little bit of room between these two bobbins. So I think I can cut those tabs down sufficiently and still get a screw in through there. And hopefully that will do it. And what I'm thinking is we will just do this the old-fashioned way with a block of foam underneath to act as a spring. So I'm pretty sure that will work. And my bridge, if I check that, the string spacing is spot on for the poles on this pickup as well. So I think we could be onto a winner. We just need to do a little bit of modification to the pickup. I'm going to paint it black, I think, just to make it look a bit better. So next up, I think we need to establish where this bridge is going to go, and from there we can find a position where we can put the pickup. But before I do anything with the pickup, I want to make sure that we've got this bridge installed correctly, and then we can work out where the pickup goes from there. Now, I've wound all of these saddle screws right the way out, so these saddles are sitting as far down as they will go. And if I get this roughly in position, that ruler is pretty much sat flat across the fretboard. There's a little bit of a gap, but it's not much. So that means we can get a playable action, even if it means we have to adjust it up a little bit. I obviously wouldn't want those screws sticking out quite that far because that would be uncomfortable to play, but we can always cut those down a little bit if we need to. So to position this bridge, I've marked a line on here at 17 inches, which is the scale length. And I've also bought this bottom tuner, and I can't remember what the tuning is on the tenor uke off the top of my head, but this will be the thinnest string basically. And I've set this so it's around about 75% of the way forward. So it's got a little bit of forward adjustment, but it's still got plenty of back adjustment. And I'm going to set that up so that falls right on the line for the scale length. And I'll just mark that. I'll just square a line across just for reference purposes. I've already got my centre line in, so I can see that. I'm just going to put a little bit of masking tape on there, and then we can measure this up. The vernier, which is giving me 60mm. We'll set our calipers to 30mm. This is our centre mark, and then we can just line everything up. I'm just going to drill one corner. Now I've actually misplaced the screws that came with the bridge. They'll be around somewhere, but I can't put my hand on at the moment, so I've just got some little screws that will hold it in place for the time being. I'll just put one in, make sure that's nice and square. put one in the opposite corner, check it's still nice and square, which it is. I'll just put the last 2 screws in. And then I'm just going to use this redundant pickup ring to position the pickup. You'll notice I've marked the center line onto it, and I'll just line that up with the center line on the body, get it to the position I think will look nice, which is about there I think, and we can just draw that on. Okay, so that's marked out. I think I'm going to route down about 20mm for this pickup. This is actually quite robust, so I think we can use this as our routing template as well, which will be nice because it means we won't have to make another one. So I'll take the bridge off, we'll get this to the drill press, hog out this waste with a big Forstner bit, and then we can break out the router. Okay, so I've fastened that on with some super glue masking tape as per normal. It is not held on by much. There's only 2 very thin bits of masking tape along the back of these sections that are holding it. Should be okay as long as I don't go too wild with it. I've got the smallest cutter I could find in my little router, and I'm just going to start very gently working my way through this. Okay, that's the route done. That's gone very nicely. It's come out really clean, so I'm dead happy with that. And the pickup fits. It fits upside down anyway because we've still got these little tabs on that we need to take off, and we also need to drill a hole so we can get the wire out. I'm not going to do the drilling of the new holes for the new screws just yet. I'll wait until we're ready to fit this at a more finalised stage before I do that. But I'm just going to very quickly get this in the vise and just hacksaw off these little tabs It's only plastic, so should go through very, very quickly. And I do need to be a little bit careful here because I don't want to kind of mess the wiring up or anything. And there it is, all kind of put together. This pickup is still sitting way too proud. It's got some squishy foam under there that's just holding it a little bit high. That can be cut down and it will compress a lot more than that once we get the screws in to hold it in position. But all in all, I'm very pleased with that. I'm not totally sure about that wood effect on top of it. It isn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to look, but I'm not sure it fits in with what I want. So I probably will just kind of colour that black somehow. I don't know whether I'll stain it or if I'll just put some spray paint over it, but that's for another time. Next up, I think we need to move up here and start to address the issue of the tuners. I'm going to be doing a little bit of research when I leave the shed tonight to see if we can get something suitable. And the other main part, of course, is we need some body wings for this. Now I'm starting to think that perhaps this tail section of the guitar looks a little bit long now we've got some stuff on it, and maybe we might want to just kind of trim that down a little bit and adjust the size of the wings to suit. I don't know, we shall have to see. But anyway, I think that's a good place to leave this episode. So as always, like if you've liked, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.